Alright, what is good, guys? Cool here, back in with a video on the channel, and today we are back on a Dragon Ball Legends video, and today we are back once again with another tier list video. As per usual, I'm now doing like a monthly LF / Ultra tier list, mainly summonable Ultras. The free-to-play Ultras I'm not going to be ranking here, so once we get more summonable Ultras in the future, I'll include them as well, but as of right now, we only have Ultra Gogeta, obviously. And in terms of LFs, the only new LF we got, obviously, since normally we'll only get monthly LFs anyways, is Bardock, so there's that. But before we hop in, if you enjoy the video, make sure to down below and also sub to the channel notification bell to never miss out on an upload. Without further ado, let's actually hop in to the tier list. All right, we are here. So obviously we have the full list here. I believe there are a total of 29 units here, so there's 28 LFs in the game, and then obviously the one extra unit counting Ultra Gogeta. So Bardock actually is up here pretty early in the list, so we actually get to talk about him quite early on in the video compared to last time where Gogeta and Goku and Vegeta and all stuff are quite late. So there's that. So remember, as always, this is my opinionated list. Not everyone has to agree with my takes. That's completely fine, you know. So keep that in mind. Now, this tier list, I would honestly say, I don't know if this was the hardest one to think of. It definitely was a bit difficult, mainly for a certain section of the tier list. Mainly two of the tiers, I'll say, is really where a lot of changes are going to happen, at least compared to the last tier list, which I do have pulled up here as always. So this is the tier list from last month, so you know, if you take a glance at it if you want and stuff. And now we go back here, and of course, as always, we always start off with ranking Cell, apparently. So there's that. So let's start off with Cell. Cell, since last month, I don't think too much has changed other than the fact that we got the Zenkai Awakening for range of 21, so now you can potentially triple Zenkai buff him. I will do a video on that, not exactly triple Zenkai buff him. I can only really double Zenkai buff him since I don't have the purple Zenkai Turles fully Zenkai'd. I only have him as Zenkai 1. I could still put him on bench, but I don't know if it's really worth it because the buffs are not going to be as good. So there's that, but I will be doing a video on that. But I did use him a little bit with that team, and he did perform pretty well and stuff. So I think Cell, for the most part, is probably gonna be staying around the same place, at least for now. This meta is definitely not the worst for him, but it's also not the best for him, you know, so especially since, you know, there are hybrid Saiyan units, but not as often. Like, actually, now that I think about it, Sword Flip Trunks is definitely, like, I fight against them, but I haven't fought against one a little bit, actually. I don't know. But anyways, Cell, again, is going to stay pretty much in the same place. It is what it is. But yeah, okay, Vegito Blue. So Vegito Blue, last time I had him B tier, mainly because of the fact that he's still good for sure, but obviously, you know, he's age. You definitely do need to have him at higher stars in order for him to actually be able to perform well and stuff, as well as also the fact that what helped him out beforehand was the fact that he still had value on at least some of his teams, mainly Fusion Warrior, because of the fact that he was their main blue unit for a while. But now that we have Ultra Gogeta, Vegito Blues basically doesn't really have a proper team. He's more so just relegated as like a sub option, basically. If you don't have Ultra Gogeta for Fusion Warriors, if you don't have Sword Flip Trunks for Future, or heck, if you don't have Zenkai Blue Goku for God Key, which God Key isn't really relevant right now, I would say, but mainly Future and Fusion Warrior. If you don't have any of those units I just mentioned, Vegito Blue, I guess, would be your sub option. If you have him at decent stars, you can definitely still put in work. I actually did use him again, just like Cell. I did use him a little bit before doing this tier list just to test him out. You definitely put in some work, so I think because of that, I might move him up actually back to A tier, but definitely he's going to end up being in like the lower end of A tier for sure, so do keep that in mind. But Vegito Blue still looking pretty good, even like over a year and a half later. We're still waiting for his plat equip. We'll see one day, whenever they release that and what they do with it. But there's that. FSK is going to be an S tier. Where was he last time? Yeah, he was S tier. FSK is just, he's still good, definitely for sure, but definitely not as crazy. He's finally starting to show his age, which, like I said last time, is a good thing, because we shouldn't have an LF Zenkai from over a year ago still be the best unit in the game. That should not happen. All right, imagine if Gohan was better than Ultra Gogeta. Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, Gohan just isn't really in the best spot right now. Just any red unit in general in this meta isn't really in the greatest spot, as well as also like hybrid Saiyans definitely isn't as relevant and as good. They're still a solid team for sure, but even if you're running hybrid Saiyans, I'll say the main core, you probably just want to run Future Gohan, Revival Gohan, and like Sword Flip Trunks, to be honest, over FSK. So I don't know. FSK is definitely not in the best spot right now, but definitely not bad for sure. So he's going to be in S tier. Full Power Frieza is going to be in SS tier. I said that weird. I don't know why. Anyways, he's going to be in SS tier just like last time. I still think he has incredible value in this meta. Obviously, with Mono Purple still being one of the most common teams to fight against in this meta. Endurance units are still quite relevant for sure. And also the fact that LOE has been getting kind of buffed actually, and they're going to continue getting buffed because as I'm recording this, we still don't have the release of those characters yet, but we are about to get the Revival Final Form Frieza as well as the Kaioken times 20 Goku, which both those characters I'm quite excited for actually, especially the Goku. But the Frieza, so far at least on paper and stuff, he actually seems pretty good, and it seems like he might help out the team quite a bit. So Full Power Frieza potentially looking in a pretty good spot, not gonna lie. So there's that. And finally, gonna talk about him quite early on in the video, the boy Bardock. Now Bardock, I know, is kind of like a mixed bag. Either people think he's not that great and he's pretty mid, he's either complete garbage, or he's actually really good and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think he's good. He's definitely not the absolute crazy. He's definitely very situational for sure. Definitely needs higher stars for sure as well to also like truly shine. He also does kind of require a specific playstyle. He's definitely a character that you need to know how to use for sure. Again, tying into that situational like factor, I guess, because like in certain situations, if you get hit with him, you know, then he has level 2 card draw speed. His next card does more damage. He locks the enemy in, so you can make some interesting plays with that. As well as also when an ally dies, he gets endurance. He goes type neutral, not in an offensive front. It's more so like the ability that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has, that he's type neutral in a defensive aspect, so he'll be tanking type neutral, but in terms of damage dealing, he's still gonna be at types advantage. So there's that. It's almost weird to explain that. I don't know, it is what it is, but hopefully that makes sense. But and also in terms of those perks, a lot of people look at that in terms of like an ability that you need to get for him, or like something you need to go out of your way to get. I don't think that's the case. I feel like that's just something that if it happens, it happens. You now have it. Like if you have an ally defeated, well, now you have Barlock, you know, with endurance and all of his extra perks and stuff. It shouldn't be something that you should go out of your way to fish for. You know, I don't know. But in terms of Bardock, where he's going to place, I have played with him a decent bit. Obviously, mine's only at 2 stars, but I have played with him at 6 stars on a separate account. So I do have some experience with a higher starred Bardock, I guess. So in terms of where he's going to place, so far, I think he's an S tier, even above FSK right now, obviously, because Bardock, one of the main issues I would say with him is probably, yes, he's situational. He does have maybe a couple flaws in his kit and all stuff, and maybe he does take a bit too long to ramp up in certain cases. But I feel like one of the main issues with him, I feel like there's 2 main issues with him, is the fact that he does lack ki. If he gained ki when he swapped in, that would definitely help him out quite a bit, which is why pairing him up with a unit like, for instance, Angel Vegeta, you know, pairing him up with like a ki battery is going to help him out a lot, because then he gains that ki when he swaps in. He could potentially you know, chain a combo and stuff and help buy more time for himself, because you know, he wants to stay in the battlefield for as long as possible in order to build up his buffs and all this stuff. So that definitely helps him out. As well as also, I just feel like he's definitely a character that you don't really need to summon for. He's definitely a character that, like, if you like the character and you're a fan of him and stuff, and he seems interesting to you, and if you want him, you can summon for him, but he's definitely not anything super necessary. He doesn't really fit on a proper team for sure. Because yeah, definitely like some of his better setups, like I know like a really good setup for him, probably even his best setup, is on Fusion Warriors, is, you know, in the leader slot. You run him alongside Ultra Gogeta, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which is what I did in my initial video. But the thing is about that is, would you rather run him as your main yellow or Majub? I would say Majub is probably definitely way more valuable in this meta for sure. I don't like using Majub personally, but, you know, Bardock, I do agree that Majub is just better for sure. You can't deny that. So yeah, I mean, other than that, like, you could definitely make some interesting team builds and stuff, you know, running them alongside with the other brand new Team Barlock EXs. They're actually pretty solid, and it's an okay team. It's definitely not the craziest team, but I just feel like Bardock doesn't really properly, like, make the cut on any teams. Like, he's definitely not like a must-have unit for sure, but again, he's definitely good, definitely situational and stuff. But yeah, he just doesn't really, like, he doesn't feel necessary really for any teams and stuff. Like, you can honestly be perfectly fine without summoning for him and stuff. I summoned for him mainly just because I was actually invested in the character, so it is what it is. I don't regret summoning for him. At least I have him. He's fun. He does fine for me, so there's that. But anyways, he's going to be an S tier as of right now, so there is that. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is going to be in Z tier. Like, nothing's changed. Z tier is pretty much going to stay the same for the most part. In fact, I'm just going to put Future Gohan in Z tier as well. Like, Z tier for the most part is going to stay the same. There will be one change. I will say that. There will be one change with Z tier, and that's it. Other than that, it's going to stay the same. What else do I say about these characters? Like, I feel like this tier list is like the main attraction to like these monthly tier lists is like the, you know, the new unit or whatever, and some other potential changes but for the most part, I feel like the tier list doesn't really change that much, and like, it kind of becomes quite repetitive, just explaining the same things over and over again. So, I mean, Gogeta has a lot of value in this meta, obviously still very good and stuff. You know, amazing counter against Ultra Gogeta, Goku and Vegeta, you know, when Vegeta swapped in, and even, you know, even when Goku swapped in, you know, you can go type neutral and stuff. Great against, you know, revival characters, which revival characters, obviously the only one you really see is Revival Gohan, who I actually haven't fought against Revival Gohan in a decent bit, actually, but I mean, he's still semi-common for sure. But yeah, Gogeta just amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. Future Gohan is just a god. That's it. Like, Future Gohan is like a year old, actually, a little over a year old at this point, and he's just amazing. I feel like him and Bardock, like Bardock, I feel like is definitely like the same situation where like the unit initially comes out and they're quite underrated, but then as time goes on, you know, people learn to respect the unit more, and, you know, they come to actually realize how good they can actually be and stuff. So maybe the same thing might happen with Bardock. As time goes on, he might have more value, and more people may realize that he's actually very good and stuff, especially since a lot of people may have not summoned for him, you know, as of right now, or maybe not a lot of people are going to have him highest starred and all stuff. So I don't know, it is what it is. But Future Gohan, just amazing. You know, the disrupt he can provide, the support, you know, the endurance, you know, the damage in certain instances as well. Like, he's just overall a well-rounded unit. That's all I gotta say. So there's that. Majin Vegeta is gonna stay in A tier right now. Actually, I'm gonna do this, yeah. Majin Vegeta, still very good for sure. Definitely has aged pretty well, but again, he's aged, so he's not going to be the absolute craziest and stuff, but still holding his own pretty well, I would say. Maybe I might actually do another video on him pretty soon, because at this point, I guess I'm doing like a monthly revisit for Majin Vegeta at this point, because he's either one of, if not my favorite unit in the game, so there's that. But yeah, definitely at this point, like I said last time as well, if he got a Zenkai, it would definitely be nice. He doesn't really badly need it, but he could definitely use it for sure. So there's that. Next unit we have is LF Piccolo, who I think I'm gonna put here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Mainly just because regen at the current point. Regen did get a buff with the Android 21 Zenkai, but again, regen is more strike focused, and Piccolo is obviously a bit more blast based. And obviously, if you're running regen, your main yellow unit is Demon King Piccolo. So Piccolo, LF Piccolo is definitely still good. Maybe at times he definitely can take a little bit to build up and stuff. Depends on when you use this transformation, because obviously, preferably you want to save this transformation for an instance where you can actually like make use of that vanish restoration he gets. But it depends. I don't know. Maybe you want to transform him as early as possible to build his buff. So it really depends. But Piccolo definitely still can be pretty good. He can definitely tank pretty decent and stuff, do solid damage and all that. So there's that. Overall looking pretty solid for sure. So there's that. Kid Buu, it's gonna be, yeah, let's put him here. Kid Buu stuff is still good, but again, he's like, if you're running regen, I feel like you're not even really running. I feel like he doesn't even make the core on regen. Like, he doesn't really feel that necessary. He's still good for sure, definitely at higher stars, but again, same thing as always. He can definitely do a lot of damage and stuff, but if he gets hit, you know, which I know the whole intention with this character is to not let him get hit because he has the insane vanish restoration and stuff. But I don't know, Kid Buu just definitely not as crazy, at least as some of these other units. I don't know, it is what it is. Revival Gohan, do I put him? Yeah, I'm gonna put him above. SS tier, I think, is actually gonna stay the exact same as last time. So there's that. Revival Gohan again still has insane value, even though we do have, you know, quite a few units with anti-endurance mechanics, namely the main one being Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Revival Gohan still has value because of that. It's definitely pre-transform, maybe doesn't look the absolute craziest and stuff, especially, you know, compared to when he initially came out, when his pre-transform state. Even then, he was still considered a god. I would definitely say pre-transform, he's definitely not as crazy, but he can definitely still look pretty good and stuff. But it's mainly once he transforms, that's when he can still look just insane and just dominating and stuff. But definitely still a good unit for sure. So there's that. Gogeta Blue, my boy. Did get a platinum equipment recently, actually. The Yellow Movie Saga specific plat equip. Still waiting for his specific plat equip, just like Vegito Blue. But Gogeta Blue, again, aging like fine wine. I do think he places here. Is he better? I think Bardock is slightly better than Gogeta. It depends. It really depends. Even though I have thought about the tier list for a while now, there are definitely still maybe a couple placements that I'm not 100% sure. Again, I can change things as I go, but for now, I think I'm fine with this. I do think Barlock is slightly better than Gogeta. Gogeta, though, is still very good, obviously, with the cover change nullification. The green card, if you're able to pull it off, just is insane. Just basically can win you games in an instant if you land that counter. Still can do solid damage and stuff, has decent sustainability with the healing and all that. Still solid, just doing very good even over a year later. So there's that. Okay, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This unit, the more I've used them since he got his platinum equipment, the more I've come to respect him and the more I've come to like him. So much so that last time he was in A tier, it's the beginning of A tier or the top of A tier, whatever. I think my boy deserves a promotion. Yeah. S tier. Yes. Even above LF Piccolo and Gohan. Yes, I do actually believe that. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I still see people trash talk him in a sense. Definitely, I agree. He's not the absolute craziest, you know, even after his platinum equipment stuff. But, I mean, he can definitely put in work. Definitely, you know, he may not be the tankiest for sure, but he can put in work in terms of damage and all of that. You know, he has utility with that cover rescue, him being able to provide support, you know, as the enemy swaps and all stuff. Like, keep in mind, all the videos I've done on him, like, if you watch any of the showcase videos I've done on him, you know, since he got his plat equip, keep in mind, that's a 3-star Goku. My Super Saiyan 4 Goku is only 3 stars, and he puts in work. Like, that's insane. So, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, definitely looking pretty good for sure. I went from trash talking him beyond belief and just hating him to now just absolutely adoring him, and now is like one of my favorite units in the game. So insane how much a platinum equipment can change a unit. Again, definitely not as much of an upgrade as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but I feel like that's mainly just because of the fact that Gogeta just had a better base kit than Goku. I'd love to say Gogeta's plat equip was definitely slightly better than Goku's as well, but Goku's plat equip is definitely very good as well. So there's that. But anyways, Goku's S tier, I personally think. So there's that. Goten, like I said before, definitely is a good unit. It's just you're never running him over Revival Gohan. He's mainly just reserved for bench, mainly just the Zenkai buff Gohan. Like, I never see him anywhere. In terms of using him, you ideally want to pair him up with a Gohan. You want to run him with Sun Family and stuff. It's just, I don't know. For the fact that this guy exists and you're mainly just using him over this dude, I never see him and I never have a use for him other than just using him for bench. He's B tier, at least for me personally. I don't know. There's not much else to say about him. There's that. Vegeta, waiting for a Zenkai, please Toshi, where's this guy? Zenkai, please, God Key needs it. Future can maybe so many, I mean, they have Gohan Samazu, but God Key needs it. Vegeta clan needs it, please, thank you. Anyways, 8th Vegeta. Okay, 8th Vegeta I have used a bit more recently, especially at higher stars, since he would just not stop popping up for me on the Bardock banner. So he's now 12 stars for me, so it's definitely looking pretty solid. Again, just like I said with FSK, he's a red unit, so he's not going to be the absolute craziest in this meta and all stuff. So he's pretty much gonna stay in the same spot as of right now, so there's not much else to say about him. Just UI Goku is B tier. That's all I guess. I don't know. UI Goku again. We're waiting for his platinum equipment, maybe even Zenkai at this point. Just can't really tank, you know. I did do a video on him recently where he actually did look pretty good, but again, that was like triple Zenkai buffing him and stuff, pairing him with support, so obviously he's gonna look good in that team. But you know, normally, you know, he's not probably gonna be putting in that level of work. So, and even on mono purple, I would much rather obviously run Super Vegito over UI Goku, like on the core. So I don't know. UI Goku definitely not the worst, but definitely not the craziest. So definitely has aged, definitely not the most graceful. So there's that. Corruptus Emerged Zamasu, I think, is still S tier. Even though he is a red unit, I do think he is the best red unit as of right now, even better than FSK. Even now, I haven't really used him, but I have fought against him a little bit. You can definitely still put in work, and definitely still can be quite scary for sure in certain situations. But again, like I said, red unit, not going to be in the crazy spot right now since there's a lot of powerful blue units, namely this dude right here. But definitely he can still hold his own pretty well and all that stuff, so there's that. So Super Saiyan 3 Goku is next. Also, if I sound like really weird or just all over the place right now, I don't know. I've been up for a little bit, but I don't really know myself. I can't even explain it. Anyways, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is S tier right here. Yeah, I agree with that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku definitely has fallen off a decent bit. Definitely isn't the best for this meta for sure. But actually, do I do this? Ooh, do I do this, huh? This is very tempting, actually. This is actually very tempting. I think I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'm gonna drop FSK down to A tier. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, sure, go on. The Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I would drop down to A tier, but he still has value. He's definitely he has value just because obviously, you know, you would want to bring a green unit, even though with mono purple running around. Same thing with this dude. You know, he can go type neutral and stuff. You still want to have a green unit, you know, for Ultra Gogeta, you know, sort of up Trunks, as well as also Goku and Vegeta and all that stuff. So he still has value, I guess, in that sense. But other than that, he does take a decent bit to build up and stuff. So maybe his damage may not be the absolute craziest in a lot of situations and all that. Tanking can definitely still be pretty solid for sure. He can definitely still be pretty annoying to fight against, you know, that special cover rescue as well. So that's why I'm keeping him in S tier. He still has some useful things about him and has some value in this meta, but other than that, I don't know. But I'm gonna keep him at the bottom of S tier. FSK, I'm definitely fine with dropping him down at least to the top of A tier. Yeah, sure. Let's keep it at that. Whatever. Beerus, not much to be said about him. He's just aged at this point. That's really it. God Key's definitely not in the greatest spot right now. I definitely could use a newer Beerus. Hakai Beerus when, please. Thank you, Legends. Ultra Gogeta. Best unit in the game. What else do I gotta say about him again? Like, he just is too strong. Like, just does insane damage. Just draws blue cards left and right non-stop. Just constantly heals. That lock-in he has when an ally dies is broken and unfair. Type neutrality as well. Blast armor. He just has everything. He has everything. Nullifies endurance for 30 counts after using his ultimate. Dude, if you see a Gogeta, every time I fight against Gogeta and he pops that green card of his to nullify special cover changes, I actually get so scared. Because if he touches you, if he lands a combo on you, you actually just can't do anything. You're stuck there and you have to take the combo. It's actually ridiculous. So, yeah, he's just on a different level. Actually, I should probably just make a Z plus tier and just put him there, but whatever. We're just going to leave it at that. Evolution Blue Vegeta, I'm probably going to keep at the top of S tier. You can even talk me into even putting him at the bottom of SS tier, but I'm going to leave him here for now just because he's definitely kind of situational, somewhat like Bardock, but definitely less situational. I don't know, because obviously, definitely if you can get him going for sure, he can definitely look crazy. Definitely can output some of the highest damage output in this game, just period, for sure. Tanking definitely can be a bit iffy for sure. For a unit advertised as having near flawless defenses, he's definitely far from that. I'll never get tired of saying that because it's just hilarious actually that they actually advertise them as a defensive character, but he's far from that, so I don't know. But Evolution Blue Vegeta definitely is good for sure. You know, Vegeta Clan, I would definitely say, is a solid team and all that. Definitely has use with Mono Purple running around and all that. Yeah, just very good unit for sure. So there's that. Goku Vegeta. If this was still just an LF tier list and we weren't including Ultras, they would be number 1, but they are number 2. Goku and Vegeta are just insane. It's funny that actually Dokkan is about to get this unit as well, so there's that. But Goku and Vegeta is just insane. They just do so much damage. They have so much sustainability with the healing and all that. Just the amount of blue cards they throw out as well. Goku getting 70% vanish back in that blue card. That blue card is actually so dumb with Goku. It's actually ridiculous. They're just a powerhouse. That's it. That's all I gotta say. You could even make a case, honestly. Like, if you really made a solid case for Goku and Vegeta being even better than Ultra Gogeta, I wouldn't be completely against it, to be honest. Like, it's definitely very close. Personally, I do think obviously Ultra Gogeta is definitely better and has the edge over them, but Goku and Vegeta are crazy, so there's that. For first one, Frieza, same thing with full power Frieza. LOE is definitely getting, you know, some love finally once again. You know, we're about to get this revival final form Frieza and stuff. And this first one Frieza is definitely very good for sure, you know, with the support and all stuff. He's one of the many reasons that LOE can do as well as it can, you know, and all that. Even with the team not getting that many buffs and all that. So I think he probably is here. Is Regen a better team than LOE? I would maybe say so. I'll leave it at this for now. Maybe I might come back to this, maybe I might not, but is this Piccolo, I think maybe has a slight oh, this is tough, you know, actually. I'm gonna do this. I'm actually gonna put Frieza above. Yeah, I'm gonna put him above just because he's just I don't know. I just think he's just too valuable for his teams and stuff. And even you can even make some interesting team builds with him, putting him in the leader slot and all that stuff, just buffing up other units with the fact that he holds a blue card, you know, all the utility he brings and all that. Like, I just think he's just very, I don't know. I'm gonna put him here, sure, whatever. Next we have LF Broly, who's gonna stay in the exact same place because definitely can still put in work in the right situation, but again, he's very situational. He wants the enemy to swap a ton and all that. He wants to be constantly using cards and all that to buff himself up. If you're not getting that situation, he's not gonna be looking as crazy, so there's that. But definitely can still hold his own for sure, but definitely has age for sure, so there's that. Super Vegito, the boy, is gonna be in Z tier, as always. You know, Super Vegito is just insanely good. Mono Purple, even on Fusion Warriors, he's just amazing on there. Just Super Vegito in general is just very good. I love the fact whenever a unit gets key when they swap in, and especially when they draw a card, and the fact that Vegito has card draw speed as well just makes it even more insane, because he can potentially even draw up to like 2 or even 3 cards when he enters the battlefield, is insane. Like, he can just chain combos for like a while, and like once he starts ramping up and stuff, which he can ramp up pretty quick actually, he just does so much damage. He's just insane. Like, that main ability of his as well, just removing the enemy's buffs, you know, getting level 2 card draw speed, his ultimate, which hits like a freaking truck. Also, by the way, he's literally core on what I would probably maybe say is still the best team in the game, probably being Super Saiyans with Bardock, Ultra Gogeta, and Super Vegito. Like, he is insane on that setup as well. So definitely has quite a lot of value and is very good in this meta. So I still think he firmly holds a spot in Z tier as the 4th best unit in the game. So there's that. Now here comes the one change I did mention earlier that I was going to do with Z tier, and that is the fact that Sword of Hope Trunks is going to be at the bottom of Z tier, while last time it was Future Gohan was at the bottom. I did decide to swap their places just because I do think Future Gohan, his value is just so good. I definitely find myself using Future Gohan way more than this Trunks, and I just think this Future Gohan just provides too much for your team. Like, literally, even Future Gohan, sometimes I throw on random teams and he performs very well. Like, he does exactly what I want him to do, every time. Like, Trunks is definitely very good for sure, especially once you build up his gauge. Definitely Trunks, once he's built up his gauge, definitely is easily better than Gohan. You can definitely make the case for sure, but personally, I just think Gohan, just everything he does to disrupt the support, you know, decent tanking, especially the endurance, even can do solid damage or card draw speed, all that. He's just too valuable. Like, I just love him too much. Like, he's just too good. So therefore, that's why I personally decided to move him up above Trunks. But Trunks definitely is still very good for sure. Definitely can do crazy damage, especially once his gauge is built up. Tank actually pretty well for sure, especially once you build up his cut as he gets comboed. As a last man standing character, he could definitely put in some work, so there's that. So Trunks stuff is still very good. I think future Gohan just kind of edges him out slightly, so there's that. Now Rose I think is actually going to drop to A tier. Last time I did have him in S tier. Main reason why I had him there was because of the fact that he does have value. He may not be the absolute craziest thing. He's definitely very star dependent for sure. Definitely at lower stars, he's not gonna look good at all, probably. But at higher stars, even definitely good. I do have mine at 9 stars. It's just the last time I used him, which was the Rose showcase I did like a couple weeks ago at this point. Definitely looks solid for sure, but definitely not the absolute craziest. This is, I don't know. Again, the main reason why I had him in S tier last time was mainly just because of the fact that he had value, you know, for the endurance nullification. You know, his extreme bleed is definitely very good and all that. It's just outside of that, it's just his damage definitely a lot of time isn't the craziest, especially when, you know, it's later on into a fight. His damage is definitely not as good and all that. Again, the main reason why he's really good at this point, or a lot of people really use him at this point, is because of the endurance nullification. That's his main value, and other than that, that's really it. It's just, I don't know. And again, even though he has value, I don't find myself using him that much, nor do I find other players using him that much. At least I don't fight against him that much. I don't remember the last time I actually fought against an LF Rose, to be honest. So yeah, Rose is definitely fun, definitely solid for sure, but I just think he's just not the absolute craziest. So there's that. And Namek Goku, as always, is the last unit in this tier list, and as always, he's always placed at the end of S tier because he's definitely still good for sure. Definitely still good, has aged pretty well for sure. But again, he's a skill dependent player. He's situational. You need to know how to use him. If you know how to use him, you can probably even shoot up to like higher end S tier or something. If you don't know how to use him, he's probably around here, or heck, even lower. It's just, he's I don't know. He definitely has a lot of value for sure. I definitely find myself using him quite a bit, not in battle, but definitely more as like a bench unit and stuff. So that does, I feel like that does kind of matter for sure. So I don't know. Namek Goku's definitely still good though for sure, but you know, he's age, and again, it's very skill dependent and all this stuff. So there's that. But anyways, apologies for the fact that maybe this was a little rushed, or if I was all over the place and stuff, didn't really explain too much about units. It's just I want to try and go as quick as possible because I don't want these videos to be too long, and also with a lot of these units, I've already explained why they're in their specific spots before. So if they're in the same spot, I feel like there isn't really much of a need for me to re-explain exactly the specific reasons why they're in that tier and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It's like they're in that tier, that's it. Like that's where I placed them. I don't know. But yeah, I guess this is the finalized tier list. I'm just kind of like skimming over it to see if I would change anything. Z tier I think is fine. SS tier I think is fine. S tier I think is more or less fine as well. A tier I think is fine enough as well. So there is that, and then obviously B and C tier are fine enough as well. So there's that. Yeah, this is my tier list for the month of January. Let's see how much it'll change next month. I didn't think it would change this much. It didn't change. It changed a decent bit, I guess, but I don't know. Again, this is my opinion tier list. You don't have to agree with absolutely everything, so there's that. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Again, if you want to, you know, you can have a bit of a discussion in the comments, maybe leave your opinions on my takes, you know, and all this stuff. You know, maybe if you disagree with something, or if you agree, all that stuff. So there's that. But yeah, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure down below, and also sub to the channel notification bell to never miss out on an upload, and also follow my Twitter, link down below as Coordinate3. That being said, I'll see you all for the next video. Either the next video will be some other random showcase like that pops up to mind, or it'll probably be a showcase for Kaioken Goku and Frieza, or even a summon video. So there's that. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a great one, y'all.